Well, hiya guys, it's Stuart, and yeah, it's a Thursday night, East Midlands DX Net, and yeah, all set up, ready to go. Hopefully we'll get a few contacts a little bit later. I'm a little bit early set up, so we'll see what happens. Currently, you notice I'm on FM, and there is a station out there down in Hertfordshire, and he's been calling CQ, but unfortunately I've been calling back, and I can hear him, but he certainly can't hear me at all. But hopefully he'll pop into the East Midlands Net a little bit later on USB on upper sideband, and yeah, we'll hopefully make contact then. Anyway, I'll do a little bit more recording when the net starts properly. Okay, speak to you all later. Well, it's pretty quiet at the moment. I'm not sure if it's 7 o'clock yet. Yeah, what time do you make it there, Pete?
It's nearly 5 to, so normally there's a few on listing, mate, to be honest. So they'll be on, mate. They'll come, give them a chance, they'll turn up.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, well, you're sounding good this way, my boy. Yep, sounding excellent, but it's almost clear line of sight, I think.
Well, yeah, I'll say I'm only on 30 whiskies at home, mate. I'll turn up when we get a few distant ones come on. So just on 30 watts now.
So I was just giving a pause in case there was anybody out there. Okay, yeah, QRZ. This is the East Midlands Net. It's Charlie Tango 2652. Standing by.
26 Charlie Tango, a 464 call.
464, gotcha, no problem at all. Yeah, you're absolutely booming in, my friend. I recognise the voice. Is that sorry, I can't remember your name. From Loughborough?
No, it's Wayne from well, 5 mile north of Nottingham. Yeah.
Of course it is. It's old Wayne. Of course it is. Yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, you're booming in over here. Yeah, 5'9".
Lovely, mate. Vice versa this end. We'll say good evening to Peter. Evening, Pete.
Yeah, good evening, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. Don't you coming through as strong as normal?
Oh, well, only on super low power there, mate. But, yeah, you're 9 and 5 anyway, this way. Where are you?
I think you know it, Pete. Little place called Arnold, yeah? Arnold in Nottingham.
Oh, right. Oh, you're not at home then. You're at high ground, are you?
No, mate, I'm at home.
Who is it?
Yeah, Wayne, Roger.
Oh, it's Wayne. So, sorry, mate. You sound like Ezra in bloody Sutton, mate. That's what you sound now. That's why I called you Ezra. But, yeah, mate, you're 9 and 5 booming, mate. No problem at all.
Lovely. Okay, then I'll take it back to Stuart. Right, I'm not going to leave Stuart, as long as you've got me in the log. And I won't be on the side list anyway for the rest of the night, yeah?
Yeah, no problem. Wayne, yeah, I'm just, I know I've got you logged in before, but yeah, I'm just going to ask you for your number again, because I was holding the camera. I'll put this video on later.
Yeah, lovely, mate, yeah. Charlie Tango 464. 464. And I am transmitting, Stuart. I forgot to tell you, Pete, sorry. I've got a new antenna, T2LT. It's not up. Well, in fact, it's ground level, to be honest with you. But I'm just trying it out.
Well, you say you're 9 and 5 to me, Wayne, so it's definitely working, mate. Is that the one of the new ones with a bit like the Game Master, with the coil at bottom?
Yeah, that's it. It was just a piece of Kallax, Pete, didn't it? That's all it is. But yeah, same as saying, it's only 7 metres up. That's all it is. I actually won it on one of these sites. It came today, so I just put it on a 7-metre fishing pole, and I've just actually strapped it to the downpipe.
Well, it's definitely working a treat, mate. Trust me. And obviously, Stuart's got you 9 and 5, and also definitely, mate, cracking out.
Lovely, mate. Well, I'll take it back to Stuart. Yeah, did you say you're actually videoing Stuart at the moment?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, if that's okay, I'll put it on tomorrow together with the log, and yeah, you'll you'll see how clear you're coming out.
Yeah, no problem, mate. As long as the antenna's working fine.
Probably, yeah. I say happy New Year to you, mate, and you 5 and 9 to Belford, Derbyshire, no problem.
Yeah, Rog, I'm thinking about the same to me, mate, to be honest with you. To central Nottingham, well, Arnold area. 5 and 9, Super Radio 5. I'm running on a Game Master, obviously home base.
Yeah, I'm saying me, mate. I'm up at quite high up in Belper, home based. Yaesu 920 and a Sirio 2008, which is my antenna, Roger.
2686, can you mind? Everybody working this frequency from Meadowhall. So that's tremendous. That's really nice to know. And you chaps are doing a great job. I cannot fault it. Just really nice to hear people working this mid-block now. And long may it continue, QSL.
Yeah, Stuart's a good guy, and hopefully he'll, he kicked off okay last week. I didn't stop on with him long, because I had work early, I'm the driver too, so I was up at 3, so I couldn't stop on long, but today I'll stop on a little bit longer. But yeah, so thanks for that, buddy, and like Stuart says, you're always welcome, mate. If he is on here every Thursday, mate, no matter where you are, give us a shout. If we can hear you, we'll bring you in, Roger.
Lovely stuff, QSL. That's really nice to know. And like I just said, I really hope the hobby's picking up. There does seem to be quite a few more people working the mid-block and other bits and pieces as well. We are quite lucky that we can use the radio each and every single day. So we don't run a vast amount of power. We kind of settle around 30 watts. The transceiver is an ICOM 7000 in the truck here with a couple of antennas to work different bands, etc. But we've been working 11 now since, blimey, this will give me age away, late 76, early 77. That's when we first kicked off playing radio, and we've never really stopped since. But I do appreciate that, and I will certainly bear that in mind and make a note of that. And definitely when if I'm north, south, or even further afield, we'll skip onto the frequency and we'll listen out for you chaps. I really like that, but very good indeed. Gentlemen, I'm not going to keep it. I don't want to spoil your QSO. It was just basically letting you chaps know that you are being heard, you're doing a great job. It was just a quick hello, really. So thank you very much indeed for your time. I will let you continue with the rest of your QSO, and with your very kind permission, I will stand by on the side here and just see how far southbound we can listen to you guys, because we are going to be heading down to Strensham services and then picking up the M50 heading into South Wales, QSL.
Okay, no problem, buddy. Well, like I say, you're always welcome, and all the best for 2018 from me and Stuart, and everybody who's on the frequency. Cheers for that, buddy. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Back to you, Stuart, for your finals, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks ever such a lot for that, Paul. Paul, yeah, I was, if it's okay with you, I was recording this, so I will put it on the Facebook group so you can hear how you're coming out, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, no problem at all. I would certainly welcome that. Anything to promote the hobby, and yeah, absolutely tremendous. And like I've just said there, I will let you get back to your QSO and possibly try and work a few more stations. But any single time you may be working radio and you happen to wear 337, if I'm in QSO or even making a general call, I'd love to hear from you guys. It'd be a great pleasure to work you again for sure, QSL.
Send me on there and send it me, and I'll have a listen.
Yeah, Peter?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, just a word. I'm sure Mark's still on the side. Just to get to he'll hear a report on the audio.
Yeah, go on, Mark.
Yeah, Pete. Yeah, your Super Radio 5 to me, mate, and definitely not off frequency at all. Not one bit.
That's it. There's probably conditions his way, mate. This is the thing, you see. The other day, a bloke come on to me in the other side Sheffield towards Leeds, and you're frequency. I said, no, I'm not. He says, yeah, I'll record you. You have to record me. but he was on a chicken box. So I said, you can't tell me I'm off frequency on a chicken box. But I know it's a bit different with a guy on a 480. But there you go. Anyway, I'll put it back to Stuart. I'm going quiet in a couple of minutes on the site. I might get a phone call in a minute from the girlfriend to say hello because she's at work. So if I disappear, guys, don't think I'll be rude. I'll be back, Roger.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, Daryl, if you could just come back for a second, mate, because I am videoing this.
Yeah, I've recorded a short audio file, so it's just it could be the case he's using probably a little bit of echo or something like that. It just doesn't. I don't know. I just can't put a word to it, sort of thing. But I have recorded it.
Oh, no problem at all. There you go. I'll just stop. Yep, no problem at all. Thanks for that, James. Yeah, well, you've made it onto the log, and I've also did a little video of you there. So, yeah, via the Facebook page, you'll be able to hear what you're sounding like all the way up to Leicestershire. And you're sounding good. Well, that's a few highlights from our net from the Thursday, 4th of January. And, yeah, it was pretty good net, that was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a very windy evening. Quite a few people were making comments about their aerials, and I was a little worried about whether mine would still be intact when I got back home. But yes, fortunately, everything was all nice, and nothing had fallen down, put it that way. So let's have a look. We had 19 contacts on the net, so I'm really pleased with that. Because we haven't been going so long. Not as many as last week, but I can't really... I'm still pretty new to this, but the conditions seemed really strange last night. I was on the way up to where I actually parked. I was getting some really strange noises coming on the radio. I was getting worried that I wouldn't make any contacts at one point, but fortunately that cleared. Just before actually we went live for the net at 7 p.m. I got a little bit of video of it, but it was a guy in... I didn't get his call sign, but he was in Hertfordshire. And he was actually coming through on FM really clearly. It was fading in and out, but it was quite bizarre. He was such a long distance. He was on FM. I could hear him. He could just about make myself out, but it was fading in and out. And I thought, oh, well, that's a good start. We'll probably get quite a few contacts around the country. But it just seemed to drop. I'll say I'm pretty new to this, so one of you guys might want to leave a comment as to, do ground signals change like that? I know last week we were talking to Roy in Corsica, but that's a totally different thing. But the furthest we got out last night, it was like Staffordshire and Cannock Chase we were talking to, Matlock. So, I mean, it wasn't like the week before. The week before we were making it into Chester, Norfolk, down to London, and this is from Leicester. So I'll say the conditions were so. Yeah, but please leave a comment, guys, and maybe you might be able to explain why that is. I know atmospherics play a part, but anyway, so a quick rundown. Yes, we had 19 guys take part, and that was many thanks to Pete. That's Lima Romeo 039. He was coming through from Belper, sounding brilliant. We also had Charlie Tango 464. That's Wayne. He came through on a 5 and 7. He was in Nottingham Arnold. We also had Uniform Kilo 0204. That was Mark. He was coming through on a 5 and 7. We had Charlie Tango 2528, and that was David, and he was coming through on a 5 and 7. And let's have a look. We also had Daryl. He was coming through on a 5 and 7. He was in Ashby de la Zeus. We had Charlie Tango 2681. That was James from Gloucestershire. Now, when James first came through, I could hardly hear him. I had him on a 0 signal and struggling even for Radio 1, but he called back in a little bit later in the evening. Maybe the conditions improved, and he was coming through on a. I'm just having a look at my notes. He was coming through on a. Let's have a look, James. Yes, he was coming through on a 0 signal, but he was coming through on a Radio 3. So that was superb. So well done, James. I don't know what you altered throughout the evening. Also, we had Charlie Tango 2219, and that was Harry. Harry, that was Radio 5, Signal 6. He was in Staffordshire. And we had a great contact from, and he's on the video, and that was Foxtrot Bravo 337, and that was Paul. And we had him on a 5 and 5, but his signal was changing as he was actually driving along the motorway, and he actually picked us up near Meadowhall at Sheffield, and he was heading down to South Wales. So he kept popping in and out throughout the evening. And Paul, it was great to have you on, and hope to catch you again sometime. Also, we had Mike Echo 01. That's my good friend John over there in Derby, and he was of course blowing smoke as normal. Great job, John. Also we had Delta Romeo 1959, and that's another good friend of ours. That's David, always great to have you on, mate. And yeah, a full 5 and 9, and doing the business as usual. Also we had, I think it was Mike Uniform 284. That was Mark. And well, Mark, fantastic, mate. It was brilliant to hear you, and don't you dare change that accent, mate. Yeah, you're a top man, and great to have you back on the radio, and hope to speak to you soon. And anyway, yeah, Mark was coming through on a Radio 5 Signal 7, and yeah, it was some of the stories. Yeah, you were making us laugh as well, mate. It was an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Top guy. Okay, also we had Delta Alpha 2221. I hope I've got that the right way round. I'll be in trouble if not, because I speak to him a lot, and that's our Adrian, and he always pops up to say hi. And he was coming through on a 5 Radio 5 Signal 7 down from in Warwickshire. Also we had Charlie Tango 2681, which was James, and I think I just mentioned James earlier. That's right, yes. And it actually moved to Dursley. That's right. So I believe that's why we were getting a better signal from him in Gloucestershire. So I think probably that was the best one of the night, the furthest anyway. As I was saying at the beginning, the conditions were a little bit different tonight. Also we had 262, I think it was 2335, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was Pete. And Pete was he started off on a 4 Radio 4 Signal 1, and he was in Matlock, but he changed, I think he changed the aerial or the radio, and it made a huge difference, and his signal went up to a 5 and 7 later on, and also he was driving up the hills. We had Mike Echo 01, and that was John. Sorry about this. Yeah, of course, that's me being silly again. That was our John from, I'm just reading through the notes. That's John from Derby. He called through later on in the evening. We had Charlie Tango 2646, and that's our good friend Roy down in Wellsborough. It's the other side of Market Harbour, so not too far away from where I was last night, up on the high ground in Leicestershire. And Roy calls in quite often. Always good to have your mate. Who else? The last couple we had Foxtrot Bravo 806, and that was Alan. Just trying to think where I didn't put his location down. I've got a feeling it could have been Matlock Way as well. But anyway, Alan, if you see this video, just pop it down in the comments. Also, we had Delta Romeo 440, and that was Ian. And Ian, yes, you were coming through on a 5 and 7. And then finally, as I was driving back, we spoke to other good friend, that's Graham. Graham didn't make it onto the log while we were actually doing the net, but he spoke to me while I was driving, while we're heading back down the motorway back to our home QTH. And while we were talking to Graham, we also I'm trying to think. I think it was Jason called in from Leicester, but of course, because I was driving along, obviously wasn't able to take the call signs down. So anyway, all in all, it was a great night. Thanks to everybody for taking part last night, and the frequency we actually used last night was 27, that's 27.255. I think we'll probably stay with that frequency for the actual nets. But don't forget, in the daytime, I'm usually monitoring most of the time on upper sideband the frequency of 27.205. So for anybody just passing by the Derby area, by all means, just give us a shout. I'm Charlie Tango 2652 Stuart, and Happy New Year to everybody, and we'll catch you on next week's net. Thank you.